all detours in life, whether it is a breakup or it's the death of somebody that you love or losing a job or just anything that happens that can happen in life, just anything that happens that takes you off the route that you thought you were going to go down. And in those moments, it is important to pull over. It is important to feel sad and to let those emotions rise up. But you can't stay in that place. First of all, everybody, you're never starting over. You're always starting from experience. This is so important for you to understand. Just because you got laid off, just because you've ended a relationship, you're not starting from scratch. You have all the experiences, good and bad, in your life that you can now use to reinvent and reimagine what the next chapter of your life looks like next. So if you want to change, you either want to step into your power when good things are happening, or you want to just look out on the road ahead and create an exciting new possibility for yourself. You are listening to the exact thing that you need to hear, and that is reinvention. Now, 90% of the questions that I'm getting right now are about the topic of reinvention. How do I reinvent myself? How do I reinvent my life? You may not be using that word. I mean, Sarah didn't, but that is exactly what you and I are going to talk about today, because I want you to imagine a brand new possibility for your life. And if you, like Sarah, can say, I want to be happy, I want the next chapter of my life to be amazing. If you can just even start there, all you have to do is start to think about what kind of a map do you need in order to chart a course to make that possibility that you see for your life a reality. And I love this topic of reinvention. I love it, love it, love it, because I have this metaphor that I've been using for years when it comes to understanding reinvention. And what is the metaphor? The metaphor that I use is a road trip. That's right. Life is one big road trip. And we're going to use this metaphor of a road trip to demystify the entire concept and process of reinventing yourself or reinventing your life. Because the fact is, life is a journey. It's one big road trip. And for too many of us, that road trip is boring and monotonous. And I want to shake things up. I want your life to be the most exciting, exhilarating, amazing road trip that you could possibly imagine. And we're all on this big road trip. We all began at the exact same mile marker, 0. Every single year of your life is another mile marker on this twisting, amazing journey called life. For me, I'm at mile marker 54. That is how far down the road I am. And so I want you to stop and just think, okay, well, what mile marker am I at right now? And it's a useful exercise to think about it that way, because when I say to you, hey, I'm at mile marker 54, that tells me that there's a lot of road that I've covered behind me. But guess what? There is a huge open road ahead of me. And when you take responsibility for charting that course of where that open road is going to lead you, you take control of your life. That's what reinvention is all about. It's about creating a map, picking a destination, and charting your course on this road called life. And here's what's exciting about that. You get to choose. You get to choose how fast you're going to drive, whether you're going to take the highway, whether you're going to twist and turn, where you want to go next. And so Sarah's question was, Mel, where do I start? We're going to start by pulling over. And the reason why we're going to start by just mentally pulling over together for a second is because Sarah is literally describing her life as if she is driving through a hellish, heavy rainstorm with hail dropping down. I mean, between the toxic husband and the weight she's put on and getting laid off from her dream job, holy smokes, it's like raining sideways in your life right now, Sarah. But that's okay. That's okay. because we know that the rain doesn't last forever. We know that on the road ahead, there are going to be sunny skies and there's going to be big fluffy clouds and all kinds of amazing views, and you can make it through this rainstorm. And so here's what we're going to do, though. You can't possibly assess where you're going until you pull over for a second and you reflect on where you're at right now. And more importantly, where do you want to go next? I mean, think about the last time you got lost. When you get lost, does driving around help you find yourself? No. You got to pull over. You got to figure out where you are. You got to consult the mile marker. You got to look for landmarks. And then you got to figure out, okay, where am I going next? And so pulling over is a mental strategy. Visualize yourself right now, just pulling off the road of life onto the side for a second. Because by pulling over for just a second, you're acknowledging what Sarah's saying. You're going to hit the pause button on your life as it is right now, and we're going to take a second to collect ourselves, and then we're going to figure out the destination and where we want to go next. All detours in life, whether it is a breakup, or it's the death of somebody that you love, or losing a job, or just anything that happens that can happen in life, just anything that happens that takes you off the route that you thought you were going to go down. And in those moments, it is important to pull over. It is important to feel sad and to let those emotions rise up. But you can't stay in that place. You can't allow it. You know, if you get a flat tire, if you get into an accident, what do? You pull over, you fix the car, and you move forward. And that's what you have to do now. You have spent enough time being sad. You have spent enough time lamenting what happened. You have spent enough time looking in the rearview mirror at this relationship. If you're somebody that is looking backwards, you're looking at the past, you're looking at the road behind you, and you're spending way too much of your time and your energy wishing things were different, feeling sad about the miles that you've already been down and that you wish you had done something different. You wish you would have ended up. You wish that here at 24, you would have majored in a different thing because whatever it is that you're doing that involves the rearview mirror, stop. Because you're not going that way. Think about the road trip analogy. Does a car on a road trip drive forward down the road? Or do you go on a road trip by driving backwards? Are you getting my point? There's a reason why the windshield in a car is so much bigger than the rearview mirror. You're not going backwards. And you can't drive forward if you're always staring in the rearview mirror. And so you did the right thing by feeling sad. You did the right thing by pulling over. But now it's time for you to look out the windshield and look at the road ahead. And here's what I want you to do. As you're pulled over on this mile marker with me, again, I'm at 54. Just think to yourself, what mile marker are you at? There's a lot of us that assess where we're at and we start to judge ourselves. Like, oh, I should have done this by now. I wish I had it all figured out. I should have been with the love of my life. I thought this was going to work out. Stop and look at the open road. Allow yourself to entertain this incredible idea that the happiest, most fulfilled version of you is on the road ahead.